Welcome to NFL Total Access. My name is MJ Acosta-Ruiz, and if you look closely at the NFL clock, you'll see exactly what time it is. It's Tebow time. Once again. After weeks of speculation, the 33-year-old who hasn't played a snap of NFL football in 9 years officially signed with the Jacksonville Jags as a tight end. Tebow's return generating a ton of buzz, ranging from excitement to skepticism to criticism. Is he taking a roster spot from a more deserving player? Is he a player or just a leader? And is this a reminder of Urban Meyer's genius or his inexperience as an NFL coach? Lots to unpack here. The Jaguars officially announced Tebow's reunion with his college coach. Tebow writing in his statement, quote, "I know it will be a challenge, but it is a challenge I embrace." All right. Mike Garofolo joins us now. So we know the ink's still drying here, Mike. What are the details on this deal between Tebow and the Jaguars?
Can't believe we're talking about this. But we are, MJ. We are talking about Tim Tebow, a Jacksonville Jaguar at the tight end position. My understanding is day one was about as normal as it could be for a person with Tim Tebow's, and I hate to use this word, but baggage, because he comes with a lot of stuff and a lot of attention and all this stuff. But my understanding was it was relatively normal. It was like, hey, there's that new tight end we signed, and he's going to go out and do some work on the field. And they're really not doing a lot of work right now. Now, they are going to open their workouts at some point in the near future. I believe next week they're going to have one that's open to the media. So, yeah, I'd expect to see a lot of cameras and media there. But Tebow may not talk. They may take an approach here where he may not say a whole lot and just go about his business on a day-to-day basis. Now, of course, I say that, and then you say, but if I log on to the Jaguars Pro Shop, there's Tebow's jersey, front and center, number 85. In fact, it's blocking Trevor Lawrence. Well, take that up with Michael Rubin, because that's a Fanatics operation. That is not a team operation. They're the one. You can see it up in the upper left-hand corner. They're driving that one. The Jaguars going to try to play this one cool. We shall see.
That is prominent placement, Mike, on that ad. I know it's not the Jaguars' function, but I'm just saying it's front and center there for all to possibly start shopping. All right, Mike Garofolo, don't go too far, though. We're checking back in with you in just a little bit. All right, let's get our guys in here. DeAngelo Hall, Andrew Hawkins, they're joining me now. I mean, what's your reaction to Jags head coach Urban Meyer signing Tim Tebow? D. Hall, why don't you start us off here?
Well, you know, I can't help but laugh and smile. And, you know, as a guy who played 14 years in the National Football League, to think about a guy of Tim Tebow's stature walking into a locker room that I'm a part of, you know, like Garofolo said, with the baggage that kind of comes with him. I mean, I'm terribly frustrated with the organization if I'm a player in that locker room, because there's so many other guys who work so hard for the opportunity. Tim Tebow, he was a really, really great leader, and you just don't make football teams with your leadership skills. At the end of the day, there's going to be a 270-pound, 60-pound defensive end, outside linebacker, burling down at your quarterback, and I don't trust Tim Tebow blocking that guy. Just the inexperience, you know, I think is a hell of a hill for him to have to climb to try to figure this out at this point, having been out of football for 8 years or so. I can't wait to see this thing unfold. And if I'm wrong, I'll be the first one to stand up here and say, hey, guys, I was wrong. But I just don't see that happening.
My reaction is, what are we doing here? That would be my question. I don't fault Tim Tebow. If my good friend of 15 years became the GM of the Lakers and wanted to sign me to a contract, I go play for the Lakers too. But the reality is, Tim hasn't played football in the NFL for 8 years. This is not a project situation. If this was 2014, it would make sense to me. And then other people are saying, oh, he's a great leader, he's a motivator. Listen, if you say that, you have no idea what an NFL locker room is like. And that includes Urban Meyer, if that's what his thought process is. This isn't college football. These aren't 18-year-old impressionable players. These are grown men who have a job job to do, and don't get motivated by rah-rah speeches. These guys are here to feed their families and get a paycheck. That's what this is about. Winning a championship is all the motivation that NFL athletes need.
All right, guys, but is Tebow a long shot to make this Jags roster, D-Hall?
Yeah, very, very long shot. I don't see that happening.
I mean, I think Tebow is super athletic, but he's 33 years old. There is no such thing in the NFL as a 33-year-old project. Okay, those are reserved for the young guys, unfortunately.
All right, for everybody at home, what were you doing in 2012? Yeah, that's the last time Tim Tebow played in the NFL, just for reference there. All right, guys, thanks. And we go from a contender to the reigning MVP. Yes, Aaron Rodgers' watch continues as we're no closer to a statement or a decision out of Green Bay when it comes to their QB, but we do have the perspective of a Hall of Famer as Peyton Manning gave his thoughts on Rodgers to TMZ. So Manning said, quote, "When I think of Aaron, I think of him as a Green Bay Packer, same as Brett Favre. Hopefully they can get it worked out. I look forward to seeing him play somewhere." All right, Mike Garofalo, back with me here. What is the latest on Aaron Rodgers and this standoff with the Packers?
MJ's checked in with a few sources involved today. One of them actually answered the phone and said, "There's nothing new to report." I said, okay, I guess that's kind of where we are. Now, that being said, my sense is from having these conversations today that it's not really a standoff. It's not like it's an icy situation where the sides aren't in communication. There has been communication between the sides as they try to work toward a resolution, and for the Packers, that resolution is Aaron Rodgers as our starting quarterback this year and perhaps beyond. We've talked about how they've had contract negotiations. Perhaps something to that end, if they can find a resolution, would show Rodgers that they are committed to him for 2021 and beyond. At times, it looked like it was close, and it might get to that point, but once things came out right around draft time, that really sent this thing into a tailspin. We'll see where it goes from here, MJ, but nothing new, nothing imminent right now.
I love that somebody answered the phone, though, and at least gave you a little something. Mike Garofalo, thank you.
Always good.
Yes. All right, let's bring the guys back, and special guest appearance, Mike Silver joining D-Hall and Hawk as well here. All right, guys, listen, we're closing in on, what, almost a month of this situation. Mike, I'll start with you. I mean, what's going on here? The standoff doesn't seem to be going anywhere.
Yeah, and I don't think they necessarily know in that building because so much of it has to do with how dug in Aaron Rodgers is and what he's thinking. And they could throw money at the problem in theory, the Packers, and do a contract that would reduce their cap hit, give him more money, and
Honest can you be when you say, hey, we're going to move up, not tell you about it, and go draft